Morning, everyone. I hope all is well. Back. I always, when I take a walk, I always sit on this bit, and I always sit on this bit when I get here. And if the rare time the sun is out, it points directly at me, a bit of sun gazing, and I get to reflect. What we need to realize is we have different. We live in a different society, and the society here, as in abroad or Europe, is shaped by the history and also by the climate, right? So this is a normal weekday, Wednesday. As you can see around me, look, people have bought the cars. There's cars all over the place, parked it, and gone to work to pay for the privilege of the car. So they've got the car, insurance, everything, paid for it there, and it's sitting there. And for that privilege, they're going to work so they can pay for it. If that's the kind of life you want, then you're cool. I was speaking to my friend and we're debating, and he's saying that um, he likes being to himself. So he's living up the wood somewhere, and he's saying that yeah, he likes being by himself because that everyone's different and blah blah and everything. And I said, there's consequences to it. There's consequences to it. I don't care what you say. There's consequences. Even though he must have adapted to like it, there's going to be consequences to it. And when I say consequences, I mean we're not. If you look, see that them birds eating over there, right? See that there. It's not just by chance that they're eating because of all the food is gathered there. Someone's put it there. The communal, we're all nature are social things, social beings. We're social beings. Yeah, we have to engage with people. That's why so we call prisoner. They put them. That's why you get isolated. That's why you get sent somewhere away from, because somehow society is recognized, or we've recognized that human beings need to be together. You need to communicate. You need to talk. Blah blah everything. But by virtue of the fact that here most of the family are broken, you just live with your wife and children, or eventually the children leave and that's it. You're stuck there with your partner. So what's happening? And again, remember what I said earlier, the weather. Because it's always most of the time cold, you have to seek shelter. So basically you're on indoors all the time. And what you find is people go in and put a TV on straight away. You put a TV in or radio in because you need to hear people. You need to hear communication. You need to interact. So your only way of doing that is making sure that when you go in, you switch on the TV, radio, maybe chat to people on the phone. But it's still not the same as being around people. And that's important. So as you live here and stuff like that, if I'm talking about people that live abroad that haven't transitioned back home yet, when you go home, you find that it's noisier, people engaging you, you know, people talking to you, people playing drafts. You can go and sit there and watch. People can just strike conversation just like that. You can just talk to anybody just like that. And here, let's try and bring some here. Try and bring some here. Try and bring some that kind of interaction. They're saying things. Try and keep in touch with people. Try and meet people more. Apart the phone, what I'm doing now every week. I used to do that periodically, but now I'm going to be consistent every week, as well as working, as well as part of your well-being. You need to engage people. You need to visit people, physically see them. And that's what I'm going to do more often. Because when you do that, you're keeping a social element going. And even though you can cope, all human beings, our level, our threshold for pain is like, it's quite good. We can cope with a lot. But nature, you can't cheat nature. Wherever you do, if you don't eat well, it will show. It might not show when you're younger, right? Because the body can fight it. As you get older, it will pile on, it will show. Same way that if you don't keep keep your social aspect, social element, meeting people and stuff like that, you think you're getting away with it, but it will show in the end. You can always tell. You understand? So let's try and keep the social element going as well. That's key. And when you go Ghana, you're gonna have to learn that hardcore. You know, I do this series for most of the time for people looking to go or people that are my mistake and what Bahasa and how to cope and stuff like that. So in going to Ghana, you would have to learn how to engage people because what happened is, because I'm what saying when I was younger, when you see people come from abroad, they say, "Oh, this person doesn't like chatting to people," blah blah. And they're from penny pack. It wasn't like that. You've changed. So when you come back, them for building the wall now, that you spent 50 years building, you will need to kind of start engaging people. When I say engaging people, your neighbors, saying hello, blah blah. If you have to retrain yourself, you have to retrain everything. You have to retrain everything. I notice a lot of people, especially most black people in the workplace as well, they just want to do their work and go home. Again, further isolation. You understand? So try and engage with people more often. When you go Canada, I said you're gonna have to learn this, but they'll force you out anyway. They will say hello to you. You have to engage. You have to talk to them. But let's try and do all of that anyway. Yeah, I just wanted to mention that about the social aspect and seeing how quiet this place is, um, to make sure that in preparation for when you go back or when you're here, try and incorporate that as well. Try and visit people. Today, I'm gonna call one of my friends. I said, let's go and watch the football match. You know, if you're not into football, find another reason. Sit on the park, anything. Just visit for 2 hours, 1 hour. All them things are important. You understand? Because working from home, you're gonna go in now, start listening to the radio, watch TV, and blah blah. It's not good for you. So you need to start incorporating that. So the social aspect is almost as important as making money as well. Yeah. All right. We'll talk later.